All right, so today we are diving into a really fascinating set of blueprints. It's a massive document titled Dryden Full Layout.
Uh,
And our mission really is to just map out this pretty ambitious residential project and do it quickly.
a very ambitious one.
Yeah, and we're not just looking at the overall scale. We want to zoom in on the granular details, the component lists, that kind of thing.
And we really have to start with the guardrails on this one.
The fine print.
Exactly, the fine print. Before anyone even thinks about breaking ground, the general notes are crystal clear. These come from Buckeye Barndominium Designs, LLC, and they state this is a design plan. Purely a design plan.
So not a construction document.
Not at all. The contractor shoulders all the responsibility. They have to verify everything, all the site conditions, dimensions, and make sure it all meets IBC, the international building codes, and of course any local regulations.
Okay, so we've established the legal context. We know what this document isn't. So let's talk about what the vision is. And it starts with just the sheer scale of the thing. The numbers are huge. 8 square feet.
I mean, that's practically a compound. It's not just a house.
Right.
And if you analyze how that space is distributed, it's fascinating and tells you a lot about the owner's priorities. The
Right.
dedicated living area is substantial, 2,902 square feet. But then look at the garage.
The garage is 940 square feet.
Almost 1,000. That's what, nearly 22% of the entire structure? That
Yeah.
tells me this isn't just about comfortable living.
No, that's a workshop. That's for big projects or vehicle storage, a specialized function.
Exactly. And beyond that huge garage, you have your 4-bedroom layout, a pretty modest laundry room at 31 square feet.
And a generous dining area at 129 square feet.
Yes.
They really emphasize the outdoor connection, like that big 253 square foot front porch.
Right. And to build something that grand, you need a massive number of specific components. And that's where the schedules become so essential. Take a look at the windows schedule. It calls for 16 double-hung windows, and they're labeled 2840DH.
Okay, so for listeners who don't speak contractor code, what does a label like that actually tell us?
It's just shorthand, really. It gives you the rough opening size. So 2840, that generally means 2 feet 8 inches wide by 4 feet high.
Got it.
But here's the interesting design choice. They pair those functional windows with 11 fixed glass windows. The big ones that don't open, labeled 5018 FX.
So you get a mix of airflow and just maximizing natural light.
That's the balance. It's about function and a specific architectural style.
And then if we move to the doors schedule, we see 9 standard interior doors, the 3068s.
3 feet wide, 6 foot 8 high. Very standard.
But the real structural challenge has to be supporting those 2 garage doors. They're 10 feet wide and 7 feet tall.
Oh, absolutely. And the plans call that out specifically. You need two 2x12 headers that are 144 inches long.
Which is 12 feet.
12 feet. You can't skip the structure on an opening that massive. A double stack 2x12 header that long is serious lumber. It has to be, to keep the roof from collapsing under a heavy snow load.
It's just physics.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of specific intent, the electrical layout isn't just functional. They're specifying an arts and crafts chandelier and these long shop lights.
Right next to the standard duplex and GFCI outlets, someone has a very clear aesthetic in mind.
And that focus on detail makes our next point even more important.
It's probably the most critical takeaway from this whole document. The engineering caveat. The source is completely clear on this. The foundation drawing is only an architectural proposed layout. It is not an engineered design.
So why is that distinction so non-negotiable? Why can't you just take this layout to a builder?
Because the layout just shows where the foundation should go. A local engineer is required to factor in everything the designer can't know.
Like the actual ground it's sitting on.
Exactly. The specific soil composition, the frost line depth in your area, seismic requirements, the snow loads we mentioned. Without that licensed site-specific engineering, you have a pretty drawing, but you don't have a structure that's guaranteed to be safe.
And the general notes even warn that the plan set may not include all the necessary info. The builder has to fill in those gaps. For scale, the highest ridge on this is 17.2 feet. So we've explored the Dryden full layout. It's a vast 4,348 square foot vision defined by that huge garage and some very precise component choices. But it's ultimately governed by strict warnings that the underlying safety and structure must be verified and engineered locally.
And that's really the dual nature of any plan, isn't it? You have the vision and then you have the reality. So here's a thought to carry forward from this. When you look at architectural plans, you quickly grasp the aesthetic vision, the windows, the open concept rooms. But how often do you truly separate that visible design intent from the crucial but often hidden structural calculations required to ensure that beautiful 17-foot tall design doesn't just look good, but is structurally sound and safe for a lifetime?